Hello everyone, welcome to episode 88 of the Cherry Heart podcast. I'm Sandra and this is a crafty podcast featuring crochet, some knitting, some sewing and other bits and bobs. You will be able to find the show notes for this podcast on my blog, which is cherryheart.co.uk. Just click the podcast tab and you'll be able to find pictures of the things I talk about and also links for all the information you need. So do have a look there if there's anything you want to know that I say, and you forget. It'll be in the show notes, so that's a good place to look. I'm also around the web as Cherry Heart mainly, and I'm on Instagram as well, and you can find me there as Sandra Cherry HRT. How are you today? I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're still staying safe and everyone is well. And yeah, I hope everyone's still managing. We're doing well, we're okay. We've just finished homeschool again for the day. This seems to be the best podcast slot, is after homeschool I can sort of nip up here and record a podcast before making dinner, so that seems to be working out okay. Yeah, I think I'll probably dive straight into it because, like most of us, we haven't really got an awful lot to share because not a lot's been going on because we've been continuing our lockdown at home. So also I haven't got a lot new to show you. A lot of it is just I've done a little bit more on the projects I've showed you last time, so it might be quite short, but I have got some vloggy footage as well, so I'll put that at the end as I usually do. So yeah, to pad it out a bit, so that will show you a little bit of what we've been doing and a little bit of our continuing lockdown life. So first of all, the continuing saga of the granny stripe blanket. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, but you did watch the podcast last time, you'll know that I started a granny stripe and I was having a big sort of debate with myself about the brown stripe. And a lot of people said that they liked the brown stripe, but a lot of people said, it seems like you don't like the brown stripe though, so maybe you ought to frog it out because you won't be happy with it. Sorry about that, little sneeze pause. Yes, so anyway, I continued on with the blanket and this is where I've got to now. So the brown stripe was this one. I don't know where I got to last time, maybe about here. The brown stripe is in and it has stayed in, and I have now added the second brown stripe. So I posted on Instagram, like, if this second one goes in, then I'm committed to having brown stripes in it. Because I was debating, I was still sort of debating as I was working up here whether the brown stripe was going to stay. And I was sort of plotting. I was pretty sure I wasn't going to frog back because I'd woven in a lot of my ends. And I just couldn't face it. But I thought I might be able to do a little bit of crochet surgery and kind of whip that colour out and replace it with something else. So that was kind of my backup plan for if I really, if I went on up here and really, really hated it. And a lot of people said about just as it's at the beginning of the blanket, carry on and then just put one brown stripe at the end of the blanket, a sort of start and a finish stripe, which I quite liked as well. So I could have done that as well. Because this blanket is going to go in my living room, I was trying it out in different places in the living room and I was sort of offering it up, folding it so the brown stripe didn't show, and then with the brown stripe showing so I could kind of see how it looks. Yes, but anyway, the ultimate decision is that the brown has gone in. Now I haven't got a massive amount of this brown yarn. I've only got that much. But I've done 2 stripes and I'm kind of spacing them out quite a bit, so I'll just see how much I can fit in and see how it goes. There we go, that's how far I've got at the moment. It's sort of getting to the stage where it's starting to look a bit more like a blanket. It's kind of a table runner size at the minute. It's gone beyond scarf, I think. Could be a cowl. Quite a thick one though, so I think it's in the table runner department, and soon it will just be a blanket. So yeah, so now that that decision is made, it's all nice and easy to work on, which was my plan, which was why I started it in the first place, just to try and get something that would be quite simple and mindless to work on. But now I've just got, you know, I can just pick out my colours fairly randomly. Well, I say randomly, obviously I don't pick them out randomly because that's not the way I roll, but you know, I kind of lay the colours out in a sequence and I take a little snap and then I just work my way through those stripes and then I lay out another little sequence and off I go again. So yeah, I think that looks alright. It's kind of nice, calming, cool colours, like a sort of watery waterscape of some kind. It puts me in mind of sort of some nice like watercolour impressionist paintings or something with sort of little dabs and dots of light, like a sort of, yeah, I don't know what, like a sort of, I don't know where I was going with that, but just, yeah, those sort of little watercolour sort of washes of colour and little sort of dabs of paint and things. That's what it reminds me of. It's kind of like a painterly blanket. So granny stripe, that's how that's getting on. And then another work in progress is this one. Again, I showed you this last time, but there wasn't a lot to see then, and there's not a lot to see now. It's just a strip of sort of fabric, really. It's going to be a cardigan, so this is like the body, and there's not a lot you can really say about it. I was contemplating putting pockets on. That's what I was talking about last time, and I didn't know whether to save them to afterwards. What I actually did is I put the pockets in. I had this idea of how I was going to have them behind. This bit was going to go behind and have the opening on the front and work it in, and I did that and I really liked how it looked, but I was just worried because this is alpaca that I'm using. It's baby alpaca silk, the drops one. That one in colour 1306, which I think they might call powder. I'm not entirely sure about that. Yeah, so because I'm using alpaca, it does kind of want to pull it out of shape a little bit, sort of just even lifting it like this, it's kind of distorting. So I popped the pocket on, had it all how I liked it, and then I was just a bit worried about having that extra weight in there, so by the time this has grown to the size I need it, perhaps these are going to be really sort of sagging down, I felt like. So I ripped back and took them out again. I think I've got a little bit of footage I'll try and pop in. I was really pleased with how it looked. The idea worked well, but I think it's just going to be more sensible to wait until afterwards. And then once I've made the cardigan, I can always put the pockets on afterwards, you know, just sew them on the front. That will still work, so we'll see. Which is what I should have done in the first place, but sometimes you just got to learn the hard way, apparently. Even though I knew it was more sensible, I had to go ahead and do it anyway, didn't I? Oh yeah, so not a lot else to say about that, really. I haven't done a massive amount of work on it, and it's just a rectangle at the moment, so there's nothing very exciting to see, but hopefully it'll move on a bit more for next time. So I think that's all to update you on from last episode. I've still got my embroidery on the go, the vintage beehive embroidery, but I've done a little bit more, but not enough to make any difference, so I didn't bother to bring it up. I did start, however, a pair of socks. Just to show you the design, because this is really pretty, I think. Just hold the little bird up for you for a minute. Yes, so the pattern is Olivia from This Handmade Life, and the pattern contains 3 different versions that you can do. They're all kind of cabley based patterns, but there's 3 different stitch patterns you can choose to put in the socks, so that's really good, very good value. But this was the one that I saw that I really liked. I can't remember which one she called it, but you know, they're all listed in the pattern. It's a paid for pattern. Yeah, so I don't like doing cables. It's also a toe up pattern. I don't like doing toe up socks. I prefer cuff down. So I have no idea what I'm doing making this sock, but it's just that pattern. Just I saw it and I just really liked it and it looked so pretty, so I thought, oh, I'll just do it anyway. Even though I don't like cables and even though I don't like a toe up sock, I really like this sock and I want it, so I'm going to do it anyway. But yeah, I really like how that's turning out. And then this yarn, you'll see me wind up in the vlog. It's really pretty, very subtle, sort of peaches and mints. And it's on a gold stellina. It's Herbs Black Regina yarn, or Regina. She doesn't dye anymore though, I'm afraid. It's actually one of her Christmas colourways. The name is in the vlog and I can't remember it now. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, maybe. I'll pop it down here. But yeah, it is in the vlog as well. But yeah, that's just so pretty. It's one of my favourites. And I just fancied doing something for the sake of it. And I've kind of been holding off, I don't know why I'm showing you the back of that really. I've been holding off casting another sock on because I don't need any socks. Like I really, really don't need any socks. My sock drawer overfloweth because I really do not need any, but I just wanted to, so I did. So I've started that, which will probably be a little bit of a slow grower because of the cables, but I'll get there in the end. And then the other thing that I did was make a bag. So, well, let me show you it. Just get it into, I haven't got anything in it. Could do with something in it to sort of show it off better. Here it is. So it's another one. Last time I showed you this one that I'd made. So it's another one in the same style, but it's slightly smaller. But I had this, is a Cath Kidston fabric, and it was actually from an apron that was in their sale. So I snagged that and I thought, oh, that fabric will be really good for making into things. So I really wanted to use it. Yeah, so I wanted to make a bag that used that as fabric. Doesn't look fabulous here without anything in it. And also I went for a stiffer handle this time, which I'm not sure was the best idea because they don't pull up so much. But again, like I say, it's hard to tell when there's nothing in it. Let's put some things in it and see if we can make it look a bit more nice. Let's put some yarn in it. Yes, even then they don't pull up as much, do they? So it's a bit, not sure. I think the thicker fabric handles may have been a mistake. But yeah, everything else was just, well, everything was things I had in stash really. Just this stripy fabric I really liked with it. A little bit of a ribbon to make a tab. Yeah, so I'm just really liking these sort of tab top bags at the and I'm really liking these little ties. Really like how they look. Yeah, look kind of cute. It sort of looks like a summer picnic bag or something. That's what it reminds me of for some reason. Yeah, I think it'd kind of make a nice handbag as well, actually. I made it as with project bag in mind, but actually it would make a kind of cute handbag. I quite like that idea too. Yes, I love it. I love the style of it. I love the fabric and the colours, but I could always replace the handle, couldn't I? If it's not quite. Although I haven't got any more of this spotty fabric, so that's annoying. Anyway, there it is. So the reason I made it, or the reason I was inspired to make it, is because what was I doing? I was watching Ali's Little Drops of Wonderful's vlog, and she was mentioning that she is doing her dodgy bag make along with Claudia from Crochet Luna again this year. They've done it before, so it's like a make along, I suppose. I think that's what she called it. I think she called it a make along. So I don't know if it has to be a sewn bag or if it's just any kind of bag. You'll have to pop over to either Ali's Little Drops of Wonderful or Claudia's Crochet Luna's podcast, where they'll talk about it, and then you can find out more. But yeah, she was talking about that and was saying about how to sew a bag. She did a little tutorial for sort of sewing a simple drawstring bag on her blog. That was Ali, Little Drops of Wonderful. Yeah, and I was watching it the other day and I was like, oh yes, I shall make a bag to join in with that. So yeah, here's my dodgy bag. I think it just needs a bit of an iron on the bottom as well. Nice box bottom. Yeah, nothing much else to say about that. Oh, I did put something else in there that I wanted to talk about as well, which is an incoming goodie. It's been a long time since I've had one of those, and this one is actually a Prezi. So that was really lovely. And it was very surprising actually, because it arrived and I thought, and I'd ordered, it's from, let's show you because it's so pretty. I've left it all in its packaging because I love it so. But it's from, I don't know if you can see that, Elderflower Stitches. Oh, it smells nice as well. Yeah, so this package arrived and I'd actually placed an order with her. And it came and I thought, oh, well, that's beautiful, but that's not what I ordered. Oh no, she must have sent out the wrong thing. And then I saw there was a note with it and it was actually a present. So yeah, so I was very touched by that. So that was from lovely Jodie. So thank you, Jodie. You made my little day, you did. But let me show you what's inside. It's one of her mini gradient sets. And I think the colourway is Point Shoes, I think she calls it. I'm only just showing you the ends there, isn't it? Aren't I? Which isn't very helpful. I just want to leave it wrapped for a minute because it's cute. There, get them out a bit more so you can see them. And funnily enough, Susie from Elderflower Stitches had just posted not long ago on her Instagram that she'd made these socks with this very gradient set. So now I really want to make socks with this set as well. And I think I am actually, because it's just what I really want to do with them. And I know what I'm going to make as well, because I'm going to make another pair of my Pearly Dot socks, which I must get released actually, because it is ready. Yeah, and I'm going to make like a gradient version of that. I just think it would look really pretty in these sort of subtle colours, with the kind of little picot top and the little holes in it. It would be really, really cute. So yeah, I might see if I can get that out, that pattern out as well, so that if you guys like it, then you could make a pair as well maybe, once I get going with them. I might not even finish the other pair of socks before I start this one, because that's how keen on them I am. I'm getting rebellious in this lockdown. All of my, normal rules and regulations about only having a certain amount of whips on the go and finishing things, it's all going out the window. It's no good. The discipline is going. Not that I've actually got rules, but I just tend to not have too many things on the go because that kind of... I normally don't like it. It normally stresses me out if I don't see things happening with my, the things I've got on. If they languish too long, it generally makes me unhappy. I don't know. I feel like at the minute it's just the thing that I want to do, so I might just do it. So the last thing I was going to share was just a little pod love today. So a new podcast to me, that is, that I wanted to tell you about, and it's La Petite Sainte Crochet. So it's Elise, and I followed her Instagram account for a while actually, and she makes amigurumi toys. So she does crochet ones and knitted ones, and yeah, she just has such fun with it. It's such a lovely, fun feed to follow. God, that was good alliteration, wasn't it? Fun feed to follow. Yeah, she gives them all names, and they've all got kind of characters, and she creates little stories for them as well. So, and just everything she does as well, it's just to this amazingly high standard. She's so talented. So all her pictures are beautiful, all her creations are beautiful. Anyway, I was just thinking, oh, I wonder if she's got a podcast. I'll have to go and look because I haven't seen it yet. And then lo and behold, I was scrolling through Instagram, and the next post was, oh, I've just uploaded a podcast. So I was like, oh, brilliant, I'll go over and check that out. So yeah, so I went and watched it, and yeah, just really, really enjoyed it. It's really, she's got a really nice light and sort of fun style, so it's really nice and easy to watch, really upbeat, and yeah, it was just a really nice watch. So I think you ought to check it out. So it's Elise, and it's La Petite Sainte Crochet. So yeah, really lovely. Such a talented lady. It was yeah, it was a joy to watch. It was. Right, I think that is probably it from me. I'm just desperately looking down at my semi-notes to see if I've mentioned everything, and I think I kind of have. It's even more haphazard around here than usual, so forgive me if it's all disjointed and awful. But I'm just ploughing on anyway. But yes, I shall leave you now, and like I say, I'll just go in and put some of the vloggy footage of things we've been up to over the last couple of weeks, and I shall hopefully see you next time. Look after yourselves, everyone. Stay very safe, and try and find some beautiful, relaxing, crafty time for yourselves. And I'll see you next time. Bye! Kinda. Okay, filming you coming down from the tree, leaving in the one bit where it makes you look vaguely competent.
There we go.
Yay!
Claire. Shiny head!
Put it back on, put it back on. Mr. Cherry Heart, and Miss Cherry Heart.
In the study.
Dad didn't get the memo. White tops only, Dad.
Yeah, white tops, Dad.
You can change that in post.
No, we can't.
There you go.
You may be able to. I cannot.